only wants you to make good beer and have fun hanging out with your friends. Here's Dono. Today on the program, we're gonna try this new hop. So, here we go. It's available through the BSG, and it has a unique description. Let's see here, I'll just read this a little bit. It says, announces its presence with strong suggestions of fresh peach and apricot, bright citrus, lemon candy, orange zest, tangerine, and watermelon candy. Green notes of fresh hay and pine needles round out a classic American craft beer hop profile. So, well, they have more, but wait. Secondary and tertiary notes include menthol, dank, geranium, herbs, basil, dill, thyme, cannabis, and green tea. So, it sounds like this is a complex hop. I don't know if this is a blend or a single thing, but here's what I like. They recommend hoppy craft lager styles like IPL. Well, do you know anybody that likes to make the India Pale Lager? Yeah, you do. You're looking at them right here. So I'm going to do a slight tweak on some of my normal grain bill. I still have some North Star pills. I'm doing 1 ounce of this Perla Negra, which is a huskless dark malt, to just give it a tiny bit of a hue. Will not be brown or anything, I hope. I have 4 ounces of this Crystal Caramel 60, which also will give it a little bit of color. I might do my pound of sugar. I'm bittering with this one here. I was going to do a hop shot, but our good friends at Chop and Brew bought this 8-ounce thing of hops for Evergreen, so I'm going to use maybe 4 of those. So I don't have to go to the store. I have all the grain I need, so I'll bitter with the Columbus. Then I'm going to do 2 ounce Evergreen, I flame out, let it sit a while, and then do 2 more ounces. So hopefully that will give us a nice bit of opportunity to try this unique sounding hop. It kind of reminds me of a lot of these hops, like Mosaic is another one, where they have really a dual character. They have might have this fruit character, but then they also have like a piney or earthy or dank character too. So got the mash going because of the North Star's lower modification. I'm doing a step mash. It's holding at 130 right now. I'm gonna be adding some boiling water in a little bit and get it up to a more regular temperature. And yeah, it should be fun. I'm gonna use a Imperial Global, which I have an entire, basically a washed yeast cake from a Pilsner I just made. So should be plenty of yeast. I might do a starter anyway, but yeah, should be fun. See how it goes. We have just reached a boil. Jeez Louise, I gotta turn this down. Once it gets settled, I'll do scooping a little bit of that stuff off and get the hops in. I decided I would go ahead and do a pound of sugar, but I also was going to give you guys a little update on the frozen backyard. It is definitely coming along. We are in the sunshine today. Birds chirping. Snow pile is going away. Got some grass coming out. I don't know what the temperature is right now. Maybe it's like 40, but man, it was 0 that one day I was brewing. It was 10, 15 below 0 for about a week. No good, but this is a lot better. And hopefully we'll be making a nice beer out of this deal. The hour boil has just wrapped up, and here are 2 ounces. They smell like hops. Of Evergreen. So I'm gonna give this 15 minutes, and then I'm hoping it will be down to I mean, ideally it would be down to 180. I don't know if it'll cool off that much in that time, but if it's in the mid 180s or something, then I will add 2 more ounces. So after 15 minutes, it was still 186. So I gave it, it actually now has been almost another 15 minutes. And it's down to 175. I kind of missed the perfect window, but I'm going to add the second dose of 2 ounces, and I will give it another 15 minutes, and then we'll get the chilling going. So this is the next day. It's pretty chilly still, so I am going to get my one more lager in at proper lager temperatures. I will probably put something underneath this to get it off the floor and maybe put some shirts around it, and then I can always bring it out to the warmer area if need be. But I did get 5 gallons. I called it 1077, and it was fermenting yesterday evening, so it was already starting off. Okay, we're back with the India Pale Lager tasting. Welcome once again.
Oh, thank you.
Michael Dawson.
It's like I never left.
It's kind of like that since the last video. This beer started at 1077 and actually went down to 1.009. It did give me a little trouble fermenting. I ended up dumping in a little more yeast that I had washed. I don't know why. I feel like you know, it might have been fine. It might have just taken longer than some of them. Maybe that is because of the high gravity, although the India Black Lager didn't seem to have that same situation. But what we're trying to do today is figure out this evergreen hop blend. What do we think of it? We've got what they tell us that it's supposed to taste and smell like, and we were giving it a little try, and I think it's as advertised. I mean, it's, you know, sometimes they'll say one thing or another, and you're like, I don't know, I don't really get that. But I do get a peach, mango, apricot, that if it's like ripe and kind of sweet, and you can picture the juice of it, you can smell that. And you can kind of, I don't know, can you taste it too? Is it more of an aroma?
I get it stronger in the aroma. Those more plant-based qualities come through for me more in the flavor, like the pine needles, the herbs. I could smell the herbs when I was poured it, not so much now, but I was getting that dill, I was getting that basil.
So they also say orange zest, tangerine, green notes of fresh hay and pine needles round out a classic American craft beer hop profile. Yeah, that is the pine. The pine comes in the flavor, and the way that I made this beer, it did. Didn't run it into a tool, but it did end up with quite a bit of bitterness, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also, we were talking, for whatever reason, it seems to be well balanced. It isn't over attenuated, and you're just getting this bitterness without some kind of malt character, and I think that's a compliment to not only the North Star Pils, but possibly the way that I did the step infusion mash. He was saying maybe helped with the proteins stay in or break down.
Both. You break down the high molecular weight proteins so they don't all precipitate out with the cold break or settle out in the fermenter, right?
Okay.
So then you've got more of these bodybuilding foam positive proteins that stay in the beer. And yeah, it's dry. You can definitely, I think if you look for it, you can find that 1009 final gravity, but it's got a nice viscosity and a nice texture.
It does, and I always find that interesting when a final gravity isn't necessarily a determination of what it's going to feel like in your mouth, or how it's going to balance out. I mean, if this beer would have been a few points higher, the bitterness and maybe almost the suggestion of an alcohol note, that might have been subdued more.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm glad that it got to this point.
I've been drinking your IPLs for a really long time, and this one hits the spot. I'm gonna quote you from something you said just before we started rolling, which was, "This is exactly what you're looking for in that kind of beer." When I first smelled it, it was like, oh man, this is like Portland in the early 2000s. It's just like that classic
Huh.
craft beer profile. Like you were talking about that blend of kind of fruit and pine.
Yeah. I was saying that it's sort of funny to me that I've used the Hop Shot. In this case, I just used an ounce of high alpha acid Columbus for the bittering. I've used many, many, many different hops in these hop stands I do. I've used different malts and I guess different yeasts, but they often come out about like this. And this is what I want it to come out as if I make this IPL. Now, to the question of using a hop blend,
You have an ideological problem with it, Don.
we were talking about this. I think I was talking to Chip, and I said, it's a hop blend? Oh, I didn't know that. I don't even know if I'm that interested in it. And then he goes, well, aren't you using a hop blend when you put your own IPA recipes together and you're using all these different hops and throwing them in at different times? And I thought, oh, I guess so. I mean, that's true unless you're just doing a single hop beer. And then I was wondering, well, you're making up your own hop blend, and then what about buying a commercially made for you hop blend? Is that cheating or taking an easy way out? And part of me, I don't know. I just don't. There's really not all that many, I guess. There haven't been. Falconer's Flight is one that I can think of. I mean, am I wrong? Has there been
Zythos, they do.
Zythos?
Yep, Seven Seas is another one. They do a Pink Boots blend for the Pink Boots Society every
Okay.
year. Yeah.
But now
This is one of BSG's first forays into
BSG did 4 of them, I think.
5.
5?
Yeah.
So 2 I know are Evergreen and Sativia. You know
Mhm.
a couple of the other ones?
Nobility, which is kind of like a noble style hop blend for lagers. Zamba, which is for juicy IPAs.
Okay.
And Sequoia, which is a West Coast IPA blend. So
Okay.
kind of even more piney and dank
Okay.
than Evergreen.
And this is more of a tropical fruit.
it's kind of like a mix
with the pine.
of pine and fruit. Yeah.
So what, as your brewing experience, I mean, have you used them? Do you find any difference in using them, like philosophically, or compared to just doing your own hop blend?
it's a really interesting question. I don't think I have like the I don't know if aversion is too strong a word
Oh, that
to
what I
describe
have?
what you have.
Well, I used it in this beer.
Yeah.
And it came out nice.
I like the beer that we just tasted before this, which was the Czech lager with essentially one malt and one hop. I really like smash beers for just like highlighting the ingredients, right?
Yeah.
But like you were just saying, like anytime you blend, like your
Yeah.
usual mix for this is like Amarillo and Chinook.
Yeah, stuff like that. Warrior,
Yeah.
maybe, but
Right.
yeah, different things.
Yeah. So
That's a blend.
it's a blend, right?
And I'm
Like,
getting,
yeah.
and then I'll drink it, and I'll go, oh, that's
Yeah.
the Chinook. Oh,
Mhm.
that's something else.
Yeah.
So,
It's I think it's kind of an interesting and recent phenomenon in brewing, right? That focus on like the single origin, because like blending in sour beer production, totally acceptable. Blending in winemaking, totally acceptable, right?
well, you're talking about
You-
blending finished fermented products.
Or even
Okay.
blending different grapes.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Different grape varietals.
that would be like different malts, I guess, maybe in a recipe.
Yeah.
I think that what it would come down to is if I like this beer
Mhm.
and I like the result of this pre-made hop blend, I might use it again. I mean, it's just kind of a, do you like what you're getting out of it?
Yeah, exactly.
And if I don't know what's in it, maybe that's part of it. Like in this case, we don't know what the hop blend is.
I don't know what it is.
And so that maybe is part of the hesitation. Not like, oh, it's going to be bad, but just like you want to know what you're using.
It's interesting though, because like you to build on what you just said, like if you don't know what's in it, all you have to go on is the sensory quality, right?
What you get out of it.
Yeah, and so it's like you kind of like you remove yourself from the associations that you have with, say, like Citra, right? Passion fruit, or Cascade, grapefruit, right? And you're just kind of experiencing,
Yeah.
without any preconceived notion, without any.
Well,
kind
I mean, I read what I
yeah,
had expectations
right.
because I read what they suggested. But I mean, you're gonna do that because if you don't do that, then you really don't know what you're gonna get at all, which you still could do. But they're nice enough to give you some ideas. But yeah, so I like this result of this evergreen blend. I think
This is a really good beer.
Thank you. I wanted to use it because they specifically said it's good. Strongly hoppy craft lager styles like IPL. I read that.
They wrote that for you.
They did. And I thought, okay, let's do it. I mean, I like trying the different stuff, and they're specifically saying it could be good and that. It would also be, I don't know why it would be any less good in an IPA. Different, I would
like
use
Portland in 2010.
clean, I still would do a clean ale yeast to showcase the hop and not a kind of a complicated one. But well, there you go. I think we can wrap this up, and you all can weigh in on your thoughts on a single hop or your own constructed hop blend versus a pre-made hop blend. That I think that you listed off more than I was aware of. But now BSG is putting 5 more, on the table for people to use. So, do other hop, like just Hop Union or different Yakima, whatever, do they do their own hop blends?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
they do?
Yeah, there's a few of them out in the market.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So it's not a weird thing or a unique thing
New
by
thing.
any means. Yeah.
BSG is in our backyard, and I have affiliations.
Literally in your backyard.
Yeah, so I touche. So I saw these, and they have a cool little graphic for each one, and it sort of just stood out, and I was like, oh, what do we have here? But anyway, that's good. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Birds be chirping.